Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Race Beyond the American Dream Sports. I'm your host, Mr. G. Lacey, and I'm with my co-host, Mr. Blake. What's up, Mr. Blake?
What's up?
Yeah, we back at it again, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of Sports Talk, and we got some topics for you. Now, without further ado, let's get into this week's topics, ladies and gentlemen. Starting with the first topic. Earlier this month, after losing a critical game 7, Jaylen Brown got fined for going on his podcast and complaining about the refereeing. Now, what do you think about this, Blake, in terms of Jaylen Brown making his comments immediately after game 7? And do you think it's that based on what he did, that this is something that's part of the new era of sports and basketball, and they're them doing things like this? What are your thoughts, my man?
Well, you know, the officiating. Well, you can say whatever about the officiating. We all know it's horrible. We all know it stinks. But excuse me, there's a time and a place to do everything. And taking the public on a podcast, that's not smart. You're gonna get fined for that every time because you're a public figure and you're representing the organization. So in that instance, you gotta watch what you say all the time. Like this is pretty much everybody in sports. You gotta watch what you say, especially about officiating, and then just overall, and especially officiating. So he could be like he's spot on with there's no doubt he's spot on when it comes to talking about officiating because for years, for these last few years, all over sports it's been horrible. It's horrible, but you can't say like there's things like you said. There's things you can say. There's things you can't say. You can't say that. You can't say those things publicly, like publicly, because you're gonna get fined for that every time. So there's you take it to the board, or you take it to like I say, take it to the board, or just take it to the league. Let them handle it. Talk to them about it,
Right.
but just don't just air out your issues on public. Like you can't do those things, especially these days. Everybody's looking close at everything. Everybody take everything one way to another way. So yeah,
Yeah. 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 I'm gonna say, man, like with the whole Jaylen Brown thing, bro, and him going on his podcast right after a game 7, bro. That's what kind of like gave me like, what are you thinking? You know what I'm saying? I was kind of
right,
like this is a major game 7, right after a major game 7, where your team, the Boston Celtics, which is one of the most historical franchises in NBA history, just lost a game 7, and you go on your podcast, and not only do you complain, but you complain about the referees. Like, I get it. Overall, like you said, there may be some officiating issues going on that need to be addressed overall. But for you to address it on your specific podcast after a game 7 in which you were the star player and you just lost in a game 7, I thought that was not a great gesture to make in that particular situation at that particular time, man.
right, right.
I just thought, like, come on, dude. Like, wait a couple of weeks or months or whatever. First off, to talk about it at all, and then not only that, if you're going to talk about it, don't talk about it to the public, in which, you know what I'm saying, they're going to take it out of proportion anyway, versus
Yep,
taking it to the referees or taking it to the board of the NBA and saying, hey, guys, these are some things that I have some discrepancies about. Let's go ahead and take those to, you know what I'm saying, the right authority, and let's get this stuff figured out, rather than taking it to your public social media page right after a pivotal, and when I mean a pivotal game 7, where even if it was a refereeing issue, you still lost the game. And there were still instances in that particular game where you could have made decisions to better get your team in a better situation. That's just the reality. Good refereeing, bad refereeing, whatever the case may be, there were also multiple situations where if you would have played the way you played, regardless of the officiating, you would have won the game.
yep.
And that's those between those two things, him doing it on his public social media platform and him doing it right after a pivotal game 7 as a professional. To me, those were two factors that you don't do when you are the type of figure and in the type of franchise in which Jaylen Brown is in. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you gotta make a better judgment call, my man. That's just what I'm thinking, man. Like make a better judgment call. Number one, because you don't want to get fined, and number two, because it's after a pivotal game 7. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying, stir up any kind of controversy or confusion after your team just lost such a pivotal game in the playoffs.
Okay. Yep. 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 That's just in that order. Gotta watch it, man. You can't
Right.
you can't be out here just bashing on whatever,
Right.
especially about the officiating or it really just the organization itself. Like if somebody come out and complain about how the league is run. You definitely can't say that in public. Like that creates an issue within. So
Right.
in the association. So gotta watch it. Gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it, Jay.
Yeah, and in social media area, too many people have a microphone and they think that microphone gives them the justification to go out there and say what they want to say. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, and
I tell you, man.
you can't just say what you want to say, and you know what I'm saying, have no consequences.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's what I think about that situation. Better, you know what I'm saying. I hope he has a better judgment call next time he has one of these situations or whatever, because in the future, in the future, it's it definitely hurt me. Yeah, but on to the next topic of discussion, nonetheless. Okay, next topic of discussion. According to multiple news sources, Jason Kidd was fired as the Mavericks head coach.
Hmm.
What does this mean for the organization moving forward? Do you think they have a rebuild coming?
I don't know what them boys have coming. Let's start off. Okay, you trade away Drayson. Let's rewind this all the way back to a few years ago. You traded away Jalen Brunson, one of your icon guys. Well, if you wanted more money, that's understandable. But like you couldn't pay them money, or you can't create a backcourt with him and Luca in there. So you trade him away for whatever reason. He becomes his own star in New York, and look at him now. He's on the verge of going to the finals. Then let's fast forward
Don't do it.
to
Don't
last
do it.
year.
Don't do it.
Trade away Luca. No, they just Dallas. You trade away Luca to the Lakers for what you want to call you want more defense and bring in AD. And it looked good it looked good for what about 5 seconds. It looked good with Kyrie and AD running the court.
5 seconds. That
It
boy
only
got
lasted 5 seconds.
his first game.
Because guess what?
He was.
Kyrie got hurt again, and then AD got hurt consistently. Well, this is a consistent thing. He keep getting hurt, and then you trade him away. You trade AD away. All what you say. You want more defense in the front court. You trade him away, and then you relying on some guys who are halfway stars.
Yo.
So it's like it's hard to see. It's hard to find what direction. I mean, you made the Luka trade. You got Cooper Flag. I mean, okay, whoop de doo. What about the rest of your team? What else are we building towards here? Are you looking to build around Cooper Flag? Yeah, I really hope they treat him right because I'm a Duke fan. So it's like treat him right because you seen what he done. Like his rookie year, he shined this year. He really did shine in his first year. So
Bro.
it is more years to come for him. So it's, he's gonna get better. So what are you gonna do? Are you building around him? Are you looking to add somebody to build around your build a core? What are you doing, Dallas? I don't know. I'm afraid in about what about 4, 5, maybe 5 years you're gonna trade Cooper Flag away.
Oh, no, just Lord, man. Where did
It's
the
just
Dallas Mavericks go, man? What?
right. It's hard to mediate to a direction of what these dudes want to do. I'm completely baffled by this organization. I'm glad I'm not a fan of it. So it's just
Nah. Yeah, it's
if for the stars they had, and
right.
we going all the way back to Steve Nash, Dirt and Whiskey, Steve Finley. Like, God, you guys had stars. He has plenty of stars, pretty much around the court. Like every 1 to 2 years, you have some stars to win a championship, and only get one out of this century so far.
And you
Look,
traded
man.
them away for a
Look,
box
man.
of cookies and a nickel.
Right. You know, you want to be technical about it. You trade away Steve Nash. We're going all the way back to 04, 05 season. We're going way back in, well, say not way back in time. It's not way back in time, but it's back in that time. You trade away Steve Nash. You let him walk.
Though. It's
That's one of
20 years.
your
It's a long
and what did he
time.
do?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, now 20 years is a long
Uh,
time. So yeah.
yeah. And this is just a long list of things the Mavericks have done over time that's been head scratching. I mean, you were able to retain Dirk his whole career, which is good, great. But you take away his court mate, it was hard to find him a court mate until the year he won the championship. They beat the Heat. That's a long time. And what Steve Nash do? He went just MVP after MVP after MVP in Phoenix. And of course, he didn't turn into no championship because he had nobody there either. But hey, you let a guy like that walk. It's like when you get point guards, you either draft them or whether you trade for them or you sign them in free agent. You you just gonna let him go. So I feel I ain't say I'm scared for Cooper Flag, but this is a question mark for Cooper Flag. You perform all you do all you do, but are they gonna keep you? The franchise can't know how to keep good players, and you wonder why y'all don't win every year. So I don't I can't say I don't know. I can't put a finger on what the Mavericks trying to do, but my good educated guess would be to build around Cooper Flag, which they should do. Really, they should get another star. Like if you want to let him run the point because he can run the point, he can dribble. Um, I don't know, play him a point guard or put him down there in power forward or let him be the small let him be that play the three. Whichever you want to do, you're gonna need somebody to team up with him or you know draft better. I don't know, man. It's
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking right there. That's my ultimate thought and goal and
Right.
what I think the Mavericks gonna do with him. So
Right.
we'll see. We'll remain to be seen. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. In terms of that, bro, when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks organization and just all of the decisions that they've been making for what you almost said the last 20 years, with them having one outlier, which was Dirk winning his individual championship. And Dirk, don't get me wrong, was one of the best, to ever do it. So we can't discredit Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
But we can talk about the organization and what they've done and how they just continue to fumble player after player after player after player.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems to me that I don't know if it is because how they choosing management or just how they choosing the overall, make picks, but it's not a good thing. And even like I said, the latest one that they did when they traded away the traded away Luka Doncic, they had to know that this was going to be a domino effect. You know,
Yep.
Luka Doncic got traded away, and what happened? The person that helped get Luka Doncic traded away, he got fired, and now you know what I'm saying.
Wrongfully,
AD,
but
AD's not there anymore. He got traded. You know,
all that hard work for that for nothing.
and then ultimately now the coach that you know what I'm saying that they had initially, he's fired now. So at this point, we're looking at an organization that's just know what I'm saying, it's crumbling, And so the question continues to be, like you said, what are they going to do? And now that they got a future star, or who could be a future star in Cooper Flag, how are they going to, help him, go towards his talent? How are they going to help, him use his talent in order to compete at the highest level? Or are they going to be able to help him get the talent he needs around him so he can compete at the highest level and consistently
Exactly. Oh,
be in the playoffs? Or are they going to give him that type of talent? Because if not, it's going to be one of the, some of the same stuff. Them getting a superstar, fumbling him, and ultimately trading him, you know, and him doing well, like you said, somewhere else.
you hate that. You hate that.
Time and time again, they've traded away pieces and players that, again, you know what I'm saying, that they shouldn't have traded away. So we're going to see what's up with this organization, and as far as Jason Kidd,
Right.
I think Jason Kidd will eventually get a job somewhere where they feel like they need a coach to go out there and
Right.
it's a culture. I think that
Right.
Kidd is going to get another job somewhere that's even better, or somewhere that somebody that's going to value him.
'Cause I don't understand that one either. Like you traded. I mean, you fired Jason Kidd for what? I mean, you give him lackluster talent. I mean, what do you expect him? What do you expect him to do?
Right,
I mean, they just say when I'm not talking about the guys, it's like listen, because they're pretty good guys when they're healthy, like Gafford, and you got um, I mean, basically know who they had Kyrie. I
yeah.
mean, really they didn't have no point guard, so
Lively, the center Lively.
Lively. I mean, you got big men to work with. They're young, but they're you can build around those guys. You can let those guys build up so you can build around them.
Right,
It's basically what management upstairs.
right,
What are y'all doing?
right.
What are y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
Firing Jason Kidd didn't help. But we'll see.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely is something that is going to be, like I said, it's going to be a mystery in the future. And moving forward, even beyond this particular summer, we're going to see how they go about all of this. Because again, you got two aging superstars in Kyrie Irving and Thompson. And don't get me wrong, I still think that Kyrie Irving has something left in the tank, but him alone, with Cooper Flag is not going to work. You're going to need more pieces around them. And Clay
Mhm.
Thompson, however, is not the Clay Thompson that we're used to. You know, that Clay Thompson has long gone. He's went down.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you going to be able to, do what you need to do in order to help Cooper Flag and help that window of opportunity stay open for somebody who with that type of talent in the next 5 to 10 years, to where you're not wasting his talent, in his prime.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep. Well, with that being said, on to the next topic of discussion. Um, Switching over to boxing, Rolly Romero, according to multiple news sources, has been elevated to super world champion, but has to defend in 180 days. He has to defend his title against the guy that just won his fight in his same division, Jack Catterall.
Mhm.
What do you think about Rolly being the super champion? And is this a good fight for him to have?
Well, you earn it. You earn it. He's been dominating to the point. Yeah, I say he deserved that title. He's all his fights, he's been doing pretty good. Yeah, not pretty good, but he's been doing consistently well. So
Right.
yeah, I say he deserved that title. So and for him to defend it, give him 180 days, it's putting the pressure on him, man. I like pressure. So me myself, I like pressure. Like people, like when I'm up against something, I have to defend something.
Right.
Like a title. So that's a good fight to put on.
Right.
I mean, it's good for boxing. It's good. It's good for the pay per view, and it's good. It's gonna be good all the way around. So, yeah,
Okay.
I like that. I like that matchup. I like those odds he's up against.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Um, just on this particular topic, right? I don't know nothing about much about Jack Catterall. I haven't seen any of his bouts. Maybe you have.
Heard some things up here and there. Not too much about him, but
Right,
I know he's supposed to be one of those up and coming.
right. But I'll just say this. Thinking about what Rolly came from, I know that prior to him facing Tank Davis, I'm pretty sure he had a decent record. And then after he faced Tank Davis, a lot of people weren't sure that he can maintain his
Right.
him or maintain being the contender. But after that, we saw him go up against Ryan Garcia, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he went against
Mm-hmm.
Ryan. He showed us that he's a very great fighter. And since then, he's been showing us for the past year, just how good he can be and how much, you know what I'm saying, of a contender that he still is, especially as young as he is. I think he's at 28, 29.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 27, 28, 29, something like that. And I'm just saying to myself, you know what I'm saying? I think that this is a great opportunity for him to present or prove that he's still one of the best. And what better way to do it than to go ahead and put your title on the line against somebody that's a great uppercomer you know what I'm saying, that wants a title shot. You know what I'm saying? This could be a chance for him to show, hey, yes, I got a lot of upcoming fighters coming around, but I'm still one of the best, and I'm going to prove it to you by defeating this guy and continuing to be one of the best contenders in the boxing world, right now.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. So
Yep.
I think Rolly has a great chance. Like I said, Rolly's been showing that he deserves to be in there with the best of them. And you know what I'm saying? He's one of those boxers that, you know what I'm saying, is proving himself right now. And he's been able to prove himself in the last year or so really, really well. So
Mm-hmm.
yep, yep. So I like that. I like that for him. I like that for him a lot.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
yep, 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 yep. But with that being said, now that we move forward from that topic, on to the next topic of discussion. Um, speaking of boxing, um, speaking of a similar situation, according to multiple stories, Javante Davis has been ordered to face Floyd Schofield in 180 days with his light heavyweight or not light heavyweight, but lightweight, because he's a lightweight. My bad, not heavyweight, guys, but
Mm-hmm.
lightweight. He's been forced in 180 days. He has defended against Floyd Schofield in a title match. He has to put his title on the line in 180 days. So
Mm-hmm.
is this fair considering we haven't seen him in a fight in a year? And also, is Tank still one of the best fighters out there? So the first question is it fair for them to make him face the guy in 180 days? And if so, is he still one of the best fighters out there?
I don't know. He said he haven't fought in a year, so it's gonna be a little tough when he come back because he's been out that long. He haven't been fighting. He haven't been fighting for that long. He's been training. That's different. But still, though, you haven't been in competition in that long, so I can't say whether it's fair or not. I don't. I'm like from looking at it from a person standpoint, like just out looking in. It's just like I don't know about that one. I wouldn't do it. But is he like defending the title or I thought he was yeah
Yeah, he would have to defend the title. Yeah,
yeah
probably making him
just
180 days because he hasn't
dang
defended it.
that's not enough time, especially having been fighting in a year. I mean, 180 days, 180 days. I mean, you got yourself but I said about a good stretch of what 3 to 4 months to prepare.
Yeah,
So I don't know. That's that's a little. I said that's probably no, that's not enough days to prepare. And that's like I said, that's just looking from a safety standpoint. Like you gotta train a little bit more. You gotta get back to it. You gotta acclimate. But you look at it. Then again, you look at 180 days. That's still some time. There's still plenty, like they said, plenty of time to get back to shape, get back in shape, back to it, and back to competition form. So Yeah, I'm a little iffy on that, but anyway, but the other question is Tank Davis. Of course he is. Of course, Tank Davis is one of the best fighters. All all you got to do is get out his head and look at what he can do.
Right.
Yeah, Tank Davis, man. The only person who could beat Tank Davis is Tank Davis himself. That's where I see it because he, like I say, he one of the better ones, or one of the best to do it out there. When he's like in this era of boxing, so I don't, I don't have no argument there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Um, in regards to what I feel about the whole situation, from a standpoint, looking at it from a standpoint of how the amount of days he's going to have to prepare, I think that's enough time. I understand also, but then I also understand it from a standpoint of, like you said, he hasn't been in ring action for a year. So
Yeah,
it's going to really test out, is he really ready to take on that type of action after he hasn't been in the ring for a year? Because apparently this guy is possibly undefeated. So, this guy's coming into the fight, have been in multiple fights probably in the last year, maybe. So, and he has a little bit more training of a training edge against Tank Davis right now. But,
yeah,
you know, but I think that ultimately that's what happens when you have a title. If you don't defend it in a certain amount of time, you know what I'm saying? They're going to possibly vacate it or try to find a new champion or a new defending champion so that they can continue the brand and continue to make sure that the fighting, you know what I'm saying, the overall title is being defended and being held to a high standard. So,
yeah.
yeah, so in that
No
regard,
pressure on.
I get that. But do I think that Tank is still one of the best out there, man? When he's out there and the healthiest and he's best, man, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he's one of the hardest
Without a
hitters
doubt.
that I've seen out there in his division right now. And I
Yeah.
mean, there's not many guys that can go toe for toe with with Tank Davis. And so
Mm-hmm.
therefore I feel like, you know what I'm saying, because there's not many guys that can go toe to toe with him, that a lot of times we take what he's doing for granted, because as a fighter, man, we've seen some great fights with Tank Davis, some great knockouts with Tank Davis, and ultimately, man, when it's all said and done, it may not be super soon, but when it's all said and done, we're gonna look back at those fights and, man, we're gonna miss those knockouts, man. Because I
Oh,
mean,
definitely.
he's then does some great things, since he's been a fighter. And so, you know what I'm saying? For him to stand a testament of time, especially in the last 3 to 5 years, the type of fights that he's been putting on, it just nothing short of greatness, my man. And so, ultimately, if he's able to come back and defend his title, you know what I'm saying? I hope that he's able to defend it, and he has a successful defense, and we can get him back out there so he can have this one last run. If he plans on leaving, because I know he's said and he's had a couple rumors that he possibly might leave the fighting game. If he's
Mm-hmm.
planning on leaving, I want to see him have a last title run and face some really great opponents. You know what I'm saying? Before he leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and then get that tour of great fights that we are looking for before somebody retires. Kind of like Terrence Crawford, man. He went out really, really great.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Went out. It's just like any Hollywood movie, man. Hollywood any movie.
Right.
Like
Right.
go out on top, man. Just
Yeah, absolutely. Fought his way
out
to
to
the
the
top and got
yeah,
to where he needed to get to, and he
yeah,
beat that opponent and he was able to win it and able to put on
yep.
great fights each time, man. Especially that one with Carnelo was great, and then the not the one that was in the middle, but the one
Mm-hmm.
with him and Earl Spence, man. Just how much of a dominant performance he put on in that fight was just a testament of great boxing, man, at his finest.
Yep.
Yeah, so us witnessing that, man, that's the type of thing that we feel like boxing is all about. And I'm just hoping that Tank Davis gets to go in there, do it for a little, you know what I'm saying, another one last run, and then he can walk out when he's ready.
Absolutely.
Yep, yep, yep. Yep. So hopefully, he's able to defend it in the next 180 days, and if everything goes right and everything is successful, we'll see what he does against this guy, and you know what I'm saying. We'll go from there. But all right, man, we good on. We heating up. We heating up, man. Got a lot of guys,
Eating up.
a lot of boxing, bro. A lot of boxing, man. So we heating
Yeah,
up a lot. Heating up a lot.
absolutely.
But on to the next
Looking
topic
forward
of
to it.
discussion. Um, so on to the next topic of discussion. Many thought. Here we go. Transition into another sport. Many thought Brock Lesnar had retired after he faced Obafemi and lost and put down his gloves. However, he made his return on last week's Raw. Do you think Brock has a championship run left in him? And what will happen when the past era of wrestlers, because we was just talking about wrestlers, so people like John Cena, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Randy Orton, what will happen when these superstars are no longer able to be in ring competition?
So what's gonna happen? You said what's gonna happen to him?
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, what's gonna happen?
Bring in a whole new crop.
So
Man,
yeah, so yeah, but
these
the first
guys have
question
been
too. What do you think Brock Lesnar got in one title run left in him?
man. Brock Lesnar been out since I was what? I'm 36 years old, man. He's talking about back in the teenage years, like, woo, man, y'all still out here, bro. Y'all still out here competing for a fight, man. Y'all better go get you one of the lazy boy chairs, go chill out somewhere, man. Kick your feet up and watch the football on Sundays. What y'all doing out here still wrestling, trying to compete, man? I understand, Brock Lesnar. That dude is a tank, man. Tanks, they take a little bit of time to, digress. Well, the other people, but I don't know, man. You still got some. You still got like unless you got some like some top tier guys who are in their prime right now. I mean, he could have a shot, but otherwise, I don't think so. I'm gonna go with a hard no on that one. Hey, Brock, I don't know, man. You've been doing it good for you. You've been good for a long time. You've been doing it for a long time, but man, you gotta think about certain things. Man, you about almost 80 years old, man.
Hey man, stop playing with that man.
Yeah,
Don't.
you gotta calm down at some point, man.
He ain't 80, but he getting up there. He getting up there for sure. He up there for sure, but he ain't 80. I ain't gonna let you do the man like that.
Man,
But yeah, he been out there for a minute, man. Yeah. He
I
been out
tell you.
for a minute. You know.
So you got those ages like Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. Like man, it's like, but man, whew. So you still hear those names to these days. It's like, man, what are y'all doing right?
Right. John Cena, look, he just retired and man, he was around for 20 years, man. He fully acted now. He
I
done
tell you,
the thing.
he Seriously, he kind of followed. I wouldn't say follow the footsteps of the Rock, but look how big the Rock doing it, man. He out there, he acting. He almost in every other movie.
Right.
You see, and then John Cena just the same way, find a career acting. So it's like, well, I guess if you can still do it, dog on it. I mean, if you got the ability to go for it. I mean, shoot, I ain't gonna tell. Look at LeBron at 40 years old.
Right. Right.
We're still dunking the ball, catching alley oops, and shooting threes over cats' heads, and just running up and down the floor with some of the youngest ones, with the younger ones, man.
Right.
You ain't shoot. LeBron was in the league. He would half these guys in the NBA weren't even born yet.
Crazy. Crazy, bro.
I tell
It's
you.
crazy to
So
think about, bro. That's
man, it is. Like you guys, you talk these days. You talk about Brock Lesnar, like man, it's like Father Time is really
catching up.
they define it, they define the eyes, but they just catching up. But man, it's taking a little slower than others. Like man,
Yeah, exactly, man. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The last time I seen Brock, man, he's not in bad shape for him to be,
no,
So
he's like over time you don't feel no aches or nothing like that, man. When you sit down after a show, you're like, oh man,
right,
I guess.
right,
Tell
right.
me something.
Yeah, exactly, man. Hey, between LeBron and people like that, man, I ask for secret because boy, they keep it going as long as they can, man. That's what I tell you.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's why that's what it look like. If he's still doing it, like if you still think you can compete, I'm always gonna say like I don't know because you up a certain age, he's time for you to lay it down. But shit, hey, that's up to him to shut people like shut mouths like mine's up. I want to see what you got.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think Lesnar, man, like I said, Lesnar's been out there for a minute. I mean, like I said, he's been out there for all 20 plus years,
Mm,
competing at the highest level, not just in the WWE, but in the UFC too. So when I consider that overall, man, I just say to myself, if he's able to be in shape to do it and he's healthy enough to do it as much as he is used to be able to do it, then fine. But you know what I'm saying? At the same time, at what point are we going to start trying to issue in the new era of superstars, and what does that new era of superstars look like?
right,
Because my problem is this: if you keep throwing all of the older superstars in front of us in order to enhance the product or to continue to make the product sell, what happens when those superstars are no longer able to be there and now you got to depend on the next superstars that are coming about? Is the product going to be as strong, and are we going to get those same type of stars that we got in the past? They don't have to completely be like those other stars, but they have to have that star power. They have to have that motivation and that discipline in order to make it in the business, you know? And so for that reason, the question continues to remain, okay, once they put it up for sure, is this new batch of superstars that we got coming in be going to be able to not only compete at a high level, but are they going to be able to step it up enough to keep the product going the way it needs to go?
right. And that's the whole.
Yeah, other than that, bro, like I said, man, like I said, Brock Lesnar, as far as him, in his WWE career, it was great. Why it lasted? Do I think that he got one run left in him? Maybe we'll see. Like I said, he returned to Raw last week, possibly may have a run left in him. And as far as his conditioning, I think his conditioning is great right now. So if his conditioning and his ability to continue to be in shape is allowing him to continue to compete at a high level, I say go for it. But at the moment that you feel like you can't, then I feel like then that's when you need to go ahead and move on. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
but again, this new era of wrestling, are they ready to get rid of and put the new wrestlers in the front of the room, you know what I'm saying, and put them on the front stage in order for them to compete at the highest level and be able to maintain that type of fanfare that this last generation of wrestlers was able to maintain. That's the big
Exactly. Yeah, that's the big question.
for sure, man.
Question. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
So if they can resolve that, then
right.
great.
Oh,
I'm ready for it. I'm looking for it.
right.
That's a big if though.
Yeah, real big if, bro. Real big if. Considering like I haven't seen nobody like we talking about people like Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton, bro. Who do you know in this new era that you even know by name that can compete with those type of names right now?
Not really close to anybody for real. At least right now.
No a shot, no bait. I'm not trying to shoot a shot at these new superstars. There are some very talented superstars that I've seen in this new
Yeah.
era. But to those names, Randy Orton, Batista, like we used to see Randy Orton, The Rock, John Cena, Batista, you know what I'm saying? Brock Lesnar, those guys, it's going to be a long time before we see somebody like that. And that's why I'm saying, we're going to see what happens with this new era. Shout out to them. I hope they do well. God bless them. But hey, man, that era that we came from, it's going to be hard to compete with that era. Because it's still some of those superstars right now that are still competing. That's the crazy thing about
Yeah, man.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But with that being said, on to the next topic of discussion. Carnelo will return to the ring to face Christian Mbili in September. Does Carnelo have another run left in him considering his age?
I mean, he got skills for days. So
Right,
I think he does get
right,
another fight. I think he can match up well in this fight. I mean, he got what it takes.
right. You walking
I
around a
think
little
he
bit.
got what it takes to get this fight in.
Right,
Especially versus pretty decent opponent too. So
right,
yeah, yeah. I want to see how that works.
right.
This is snacks or two. Yeah. That I mean, see his face. I think he still got plenty left in his tank, man. Like I, I say he probably got like probably maybe five, maybe six, maybe 6 or 7, man. Good fights left in him. So
Right.
I don't think he's nowhere near done.
Right.
But we we gonna see how he fares well in this September fight, man. It's gonna be one to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And see how he bounced back from that loss to Terrence Crawford, because again, that was the one that we last saw him in. So, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the interesting to see how he can, bounce back and manage to, show everybody that he still can go out there and compete at a high level.
Exactly. That's remain to be seen there. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, with this Carmelo fight coming along, man, I said Carmelo. Carnelo fight coming along, man. I just think that Carnelo is only 35 years old, bro. So if I think about that, I think that he might have a good, like you said, 5 to 6, 7 fights left in him. And if he got another 5 to 6, 7 fights left in him, he also might be able to compete for the next 5 years because he's not even 40 yet. He's not even close to 40 yet. So you know what I'm saying? He's still got a lot
Mm.
in the tank. He's still got a lot of ways to go. And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully he can stay healthy. He can continue to be in shape like he needs to. Um, mentally and spiritually and even physically, I hope you know what I'm saying? Because it is boxing, you want to hope that it doesn't take a hold of his body or he doesn't have any mental or damage to his head or anything like that when it's all said and done. So he has to consider that as well. So other than that, you know what I'm saying? At the age of 35, I think he still has the ability to compete. So you know what I'm saying? I want to see him compete at the highest level and see what that looks like. And look what it looks like eventually,
Exactly. Exactly.
right. And eventually, I want to see, like I said, in September when it does come along, I want to see what he looks like in his fight in the next couple of months. And if he still is at the top level
Yeah.
and can be considered one of those top fighters, like I said, he has all the skills and all the talent to be one of the best of all time. In fact, I would say he is one of the best of all time. And so, at this
Yeah.
point, it's just about seeing can he still continue to be what he was, you know what I'm saying, or at the top like he was when he left, you know. So shout out to him, Carnelo. You know what I'm saying? He's a heck of a fighter. He came up against somebody like Terrence Crawford that just was a better fighter. And you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that he's not a great fighter, and that doesn't mean that he can't get back in the ring and prove that he's still one of the best out there. So, hey, it's going to be great to see, man. Great to watch. You know,
Amen.
for sure, for
Yeah,
sure,
man.
for sure. But on to the next topic of discussion. Again, speaking of boxing, I don't know if you've heard about this, but apparently, my friend, MVP Promotions, which is the promotions company, I'm assuming, bans Clarissa Shields from attending events after she attacks Baumgartner in an altercation. What do you think about this altercation between these two? And
Man.
and could this be a potential fight? Though they are in different weight classes.
I mean, so you said that the weight class. I mean, ain't really much you can do professionally unless you're gonna do it amateur. I mean, like you said something else that's amateur wise, but that just wouldn't be a fair. You different weight class. It's way bigger. Well, I say way bigger, but I got size and muscle on you, so I don't know. That's I wouldn't know anything about no. Yeah, I don't know about putting together like pro like professionally wise. You can always if you I mean fighting is fighting, man. If you want to test it out and do like put something together like something like doesn't have to do with the association or the organization or anything like that. I I want to test to it.
Right.
Fight it out.
Right.
Fight it out.
Right. But as far as you saying, as far as boxing, you don't think it'll be a good idea, is what you're saying.
Nah. I mean, it's just like how it looks because they're trying to varsity trying to keep the weight differential thing. They trying to keep it within that within the same weight within the weight class.
Right.
You don't have no heavyweight fight. You don't have no heavyweight fighting no middleweight or heavyweight fighting a lightweight. Thing like that. Nah, it's never gonna work.
Right.
That's going against the code of things as far as what the boxing organization, what they're about and the rules of it. So,
Right.
nah, I can't see them passing that on.
Right. No, I get it. I get it.
But amateur wise, you put together amateur wise, then go for it.
Right.
You know.
Hey, we'll never know, man. Um,
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things. Like we'll probably never know.
yeah. It looks like they got a big rivalry going on, but like you said, I'm gonna say that because they're in two different weight classes, you look at them in two different weight classes, and you say to yourself, it's probably not gonna be
Yeah,
the best competition if one tries to go up or one tries to go down in weight class. And when you try to go down or up in weight class, especially in boxing, it don't always go the way you expect it to go, especially because the punches are a lot harder, the conditioning is a lot tougher, and to
yeah.
be able to
Go
compete
ahead.
in that level or whatever is a lot tougher overall when you're trying to go up or under in different weight classes. It's a different feel to that weight.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
So man, it's gonna be interesting to see overall what comes of that particular rivalry between Alicia Bumgarner and Clarissa Shields, because like I said, it's been going on for maybe like the last 2 years. But again, because they're in two different weight classes, I don't know if anything is really gonna come of it unless um they're both of their camps and the wrestling, not the wrestling but the boxing, unless the boxing world, as far as the boxing association and both of their camps can come to an agreement on what the terms would be if one was to come up or down a weight class. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it doesn't
Yeah.
look like anything is going to come of that. But it is interesting to for a sports topic, especially people who are like us in boxing, who would want to see something like that take place if it takes place in the right way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right, right,
Absolutely.
right. But with that being said, bro, that was one of my last topics. But here are my final thoughts, dog. Um, One of the things that we didn't touch on is this current series that we going towards, with the Spurs, man, versus Oklahoma City. After an entire year of seeing the Spurs beat up basically on the Oklahoma City Thunder, man, it looks like this series might go 6 or 7 games, bro.
That's what I'm thinking about. So he's gonna come down to the wire between those. That's what people want to see.
Yeah,
People want to see that,
yeah,
and the teams are talented enough. They're gonna go back and forth. Somebody gonna figure something out and
right,
then make it work. But then the next game, something gonna be different because both teams know how to adjust.
right.
So man, yeah, it's a thing to see right now, man.
Oh
It's
yeah,
exciting. It's
oh,
exciting for sure,
oh yeah. Exciting time in sports, guys. Exciting time in
man.
basketball. I feel like it's nostalgic because for a long time, at least the last couple of years, 2 to 3 years, we haven't seen a lot of great competition in basketball. But this is one of those competitive series that we've been looking forward to all year. And it really is challenging what basketball, is or whatever. This new
Yeah,
style is really challenging it to really be competitive as far as bringing that competition back to basketball, this particular series.
yeah.
Yeah, with Oklahoma City and the Spurs, man. So shout out to both teams, bro. And what we also witnessing with Wimby is, man, it's nothing short of greatness, man. It's just
Already.
yeah, already, man. Just that half court shot that he made yesterday, man, when he went from the half court line. You know what I'm saying? And just shot it up like it was a jump shot. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. That was crazy.
Ridiculous.
That's how you knew that. Yeah, them boys. Yeah, they starting to getting their confidence, man. They starting to be more comfortable. And
Right.
that's something that you don't want them boys to do is start finding their comfortability, man. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's yeah,
And the Spurs organization has a way of making sure that
yeah,
their team stay disciplined and focused on what the main goal is. And so game by game, if they lose one game, they're not going to lose the next.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the thing. And I just believe that honestly, if it goes 7, and this is just my pick, if it was to go 7, I'm taking the Spurs. You know? Yeah.
I'll take the Spurs too. That's who I got going. I got the Spurs going because yeah, man. Them boys. Yeah, them. I try to tell everybody all season long. These dudes, and once they're comfortable in the things they do, and you can be up by 20 points. You can be up on the Spurs by 20 points in the middle of the third quarter. It's just something about the middle of that doggone third quarter. It's when they put an anaconda squeeze on you on defense. They don't let you get a shot up. They don't let you get anything up. And then they just come back and they just score a ball. And they've been doing it all season. They've been scoring all season. This is why OKC had problems versus them in the season because the way these guys play defense and the way they get timely shots in and creative like with this throw up and windy oop, that just crush your soul. So so man, that's all I'm saying, man. Watch out for them guys, man.
Oh yeah.
I've been telling people all year long that it's gonna take for them to get to the finals. See, when they finally be on national stage, they always say like I ain't gonna discredit OKC, but if and that's a very big if when San Antonio gets to the finals, just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. So hey man, I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. We've seen 2 great series. I think this other series probably gonna end tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you. If they go more than 4, it's only going 5. I think it go 5 games, 4 games, and then I think the Knicks going to the championship most likely. Um, but this Spurs versus Thunder series was the series that the entire basketball world was waiting for all season long, and we finally got to see
Yeah.
it. And now that we finally got to see it, bro, hey, it's been a
Not disappointed.
heavyweight fight for real, man. That's what it's been
Yeah.
for sure.
It has been disappointed, so
Oh yeah, for sure. This is what we've been wanting to see in the last couple of years. Real competitive basketball, teams going head to head to see who's really the best. And so with this series, we're getting back to that, and I'm loving it as an NBA and a basketball fan.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
Can't wait, man. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty now, man. So
oh yeah, for sure. But with that being said, bro, that's all I got for you guys today. Oh, And that is going it. That's it. Go. I said that's going it. That's it. We're gonna wrap it up. It's the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? As far as sports talk is concerned, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, guys, watch those two games. Watch those, you know what I'm saying? The two series between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs, as well as the Knicks and the Cavs series that's going on tonight. And guys, I hope you have a great and blessed day and a great blessed rest of your week. All right.
Hey.
Yeah.